would like to tell you about a boy named Payton. There is a boy named Payton who sees the world from a different view. He takes his time with everything and often sees the things we may have missed. From the time he was a little baby, he would sit and watch the world go by, and with great intensity seek ways to learn about what was happening around him. Payton was born with bright orange hair, but it did not look so much like hair. It looked a lot more like fuzz. He was a big baby since he decided to take his time being born. His mother did not realize this was an example of his entire life until later. He was 9 days later than the estimated due date, and even when he was being born, he decided to stop and take a break. The doctors thought there was something wrong, but really it was just Payton taking his time. He was a whole 10 pounds 5 ounces when he was born. The midwife exclaimed, "This is the biggest baby I have ever delivered." He did not cry, he did not scream. Instead, with his intense and at that time blue eyes, looked seriously upon his mother's face. Payton had the face of a very serious old man. And all through the first 2 years of his life, his mother worried that there might be something wrong. But we will get to that in another part of the story. His parents even decided to add a name to his name, since this huge baby needed an extra long name. So Payton James David White was born on May 24th, 2006. Payton's family would go get pictures taken, and Payton would never smile for the camera. Never. He would give his serious little old man face, like this one, and watch what was going on intently. He was not all that interested in playing with toys, but the one person he liked to play with was his brother Grayson. People at church would ask to hold him, they'd ask to cuddle him and play with him, but his mother would have to tell them that all he would do was cry. He did not like strangers to hold him, but he was pretty happy and content with watching everyone. As Payton grew, his mother became worried. Why did Payton act so differently than Grayson did at that age? Where Grayson would smile, laugh, kiss, and hug his mom and dad, Payton just preferred to be held. Where Grayson started talking at 5 months old, Payton did not say a word. Was there something wrong with him? His mother would think, does he have autism? His father didn't really say much, but he was kind of worried too. His mother prayed and prayed over her little boy. She prayed that she would have the strength to parent a special needs child if that is how he ended up. She prayed that God would heal the baby. His mother took him to the doctor for the first time to ask about this issue, and the doctor said, if he doesn't say at least 15 words by his next checkup, he will have to get some testing done. But his mother knew that there was nothing wrong with him. She saw the understanding in his eyes, the intelligence behind the quiet side. She knew somewhere deep down that Payton was going to be okay. When his mother took him to his next checkup, Payton said nowhere near 15 words. The doctor gave his mother a referral to a speech therapist. She said, since his hearing is fine, there may be something more wrong with him than we realized. But his mother knew that God would provide. Their family moved soon after that. The referral was put on hold. His mom and dad were busy packing, unpacking, and learning a whole new city. But Payton would still not talk. Although the doctor's appointment was put on hold, it was still in the back of their minds. When is Payton going to talk? It took Payton longer than Grayson to sit. It took him longer to crawl. It took him longer to walk. So maybe the talking thing was part of his lateness too. And then one day, to his parents' surprise, shortly after his 2nd birthday, Payton just began to talk. He did not start with a few small words, which would have been too easy. He started with full sentences. Out came all the words that had been stored up in his brain. Big words, small words, words everywhere. All the time. He may have taken his time to speak, but once he spoke, there was no going back. Payton then took his time writing his name, riding his trike, running and playing and learning to read. To this day, he takes his time getting dressed. He takes his time cleaning. He takes his time eating and walking and running. He takes his time making his bed in the morning and takes his time putting on his shoes. There is an entire world to explore, walking from the front of his house to the van when going anywhere. He is always trailing behind, he is never in a hurry, and he's always the last to get to where his family is going. But you know what? Payton gets there. He learns so much taking his time, listening before speaking, and thinking before talking. He may take more time than what his parents would like all the time. But the time he takes is time he learns. It is time he absorbs the sounds, the words, the sights, and feelings of those around him. Payton may seem oblivious to what is happening, but his personality and character show through in every step of the way. I think we can learn a lot from the Paytons of this world. We can learn to slow down, enjoy the beauty of the world around us, and listen to those who need listened to. I cannot wait to see how he grows up listening and learning and becoming a man of God. How many of us should learn to listen before we speak, learn to think before we talk? I am sure there would be a lot less hurtful words spoken or actions taken in this world. You see, I have the privilege of being Payton's mom. My personality may be the exact opposite of his, but I have learned so much from this little boy. His patience, care, and gentleness amazes me. His loving, compassionate heart astounds and humbles me. His faith is real, and he clearly hears God's voice speaking to him because he takes the time to listen. The biggest lesson I've learned from this handsome, red-headed boy is to stop and enjoy the world around me and to be patient with the other people around me. I thank God for this amazing boy every day of my life and look forward to seeing who he will become in the future.